Alrighty, hello everyone folks, and good morning. Welcome to a question that like 3 people have asked, but I just thought was kind of interesting here, which is what exactly happens if you combine together Pumpkin Lore and the Stinky set? For those unfamiliar with what each of these do, Stinky set basically means that you have the minimum possible aggro to the enemy AI, rendering you functionally invisible, whereas Pumpkin Lore raises it up by some amount, presumably a lot. Both of these have entirely different functions, but courtesy of the familiar, you can stack both of them at the same time. And there was a question over what happens if you do stack both of them. Do they suddenly become targetable when using the Stinky set? Do they become invisible when using the Pumpkin Lure set? What's more powerful, the stench or the luring? I don't know what they're really luring with, considering that the pumpkin isn't the one with Pumpkin Lure. Anyway, whatever. The answer is actually very simple. Stinky set just overwrites the Pumpkin Lure. They do not seem to have any additional aggro of any kind. Now, personally, while, as far as I'm aware, the actual mechanics behind the behind both of them weren't really figured out. I believe the way it actually works is potentially adding a sort of point value to that particular unit. Like if they're taking a look at it and it's like, okay, you know, a debuff is worth this much, damage is worth this much. In Reborn, I believe it's primarily damage, because they do seem to calculate some moves based off of just damage alone and ignore the debuff associated. There's many reasons why this might potentially be the case. But anyways, it seems like if they are in an AoE, they will still have a pretty decent chance of being targeted, though that's not exactly unusual for somebody using the Stinky set anyway. And other than that, it seems to just completely overwrite the Pumpkin Lure skill entirely. Usually the only reason you'd really be using Pumpkin Lure is for the purpose of, you know, triggering something like a reflection ability or what have you. Which, by the way, using Pumpkin Lure right next to a bunch of, like, let's say a couple of liches running reflection is a great way to go deal with your Heaven General problems and or some of the heavier bosses. Yeah, in the purpose of combining it with a Stinky set, yeah, it doesn't really do very much. Alright, thought that was interesting. Y'all have a good one. Take care.